Hello, Elodie here today. I'm going to show you how to create your own shadow overlays. For instance, I took this photo of my son holding two plush dinosaurs, and I wanted to have huge dinosaur shadows behind, like they're ready to fight, straight out of my son's imagination. Let me show you the process. So I have here my first image, which I edited a bit in Lightroom. Then I used the transform tool in Lightroom to have the photo straight. And I removed the white thermostat on the wall. My next step was to take it to Photoshop to enlarge the top of the image so I would be able to have huge dinosaur shadows there. Then I took images of two dinosaur toys in a fighting position, and I'm going to use them to create the shadows. In Lightroom, I am going to File and then Edit in Photoshop. Here is my image in Photoshop. Now I'm grabbing my quick selection tool to select the dinosaur. I took some of the shadow, so I am taking this out of the selection by pressing the key Alt on my keyboard while brushing the areas that I don't want. I'm changing the size of my cursor to get the horns of my dinosaur better selected. Now that I am satisfied with my selection, I'm doing a right click on it and layer by copy. So I have now a layer with only my selection. Now I want to turn this dinosaur into a shadow. So I'm going to Edit, Fill. I'm filling this with black in normal mode with 100% opacity. I will take this shadow in my main image and position it where I want. I want to turn it a little bit, so I am using the free transform command by pressing Command and T on my Mac, which is Control and T for PC user. I want to get rid of some weird stuff on the legs of my dinosaur, so I am adding a layer mask. On this layer mask, I will brush with a black brush what I want to disappear. Okay, now that I'm satisfied, I'm going to lower the opacity on my shadow. Then I am adding a Gaussian blur by clicking Filter, Blur, and Gaussian blur. I'm choosing a blur that I like. And then I'm playing again a bit with the opacity. Now I'm going back into Lightroom and I will do exactly the same with the second dinosaur. Let's speed up a little bit. Okay, now you see that my dinosaur here doesn't have a big tail, and I want to draw a longer tail. I am taking my brush, setting it to black color, and drawing on my image. As I already have a lower opacity for my dinosaur layer, my coloring will have the same opacity and be gray. I feel like they look good, but I need to link the shadows to the plush toys. So I am adding a new layer and coloring in black. Another option would have been to use the dinosaur layer directly and paint on it in black, just like I did for the tail. But I want to show you another way of doing it. Let's speed up a little bit again. I am using a layer mask to erase some of the shadows. Now I want my plush dinosaurs to be sharp on top of the shadows. So I am going to select them, make a layer by copy, and place them as first layer on top. You see that some of my layers are over each other, and in these areas the transition is not smooth. So I'm going to save this image back into Lightroom and open it again as one image in Photoshop. So now I am back in Photoshop with just one image. I am going to duplicate it, and with the spot healing brush I am going to correct the spots that are darker until I'm satisfied with them. So I still don't like this part of the shadow, so I'm going to duplicate the layer and use a Gaussian blur to hide this exact part. Then I'm adding a layer mask, and I'm going to make the layer mask black instead of white by pressing Command and I. This will make the layer with the Gaussian blur disappear. I'm going to paint in white on it to make the blur appear where I brush. Then I am using a bigger brush to smooth the edges of the shadows. That's it. Here is the before and after. I hope you enjoyed this video.